Hello, my name is Ray Salazar, and this is Morning Reel, a 3 to 4 to 100 minute or so podcast of films that I review of all nations, of all kinds, of all years, from the beginning to the current. Today, I review the 1973 horror film The Exorcist, directed by William Friedkin, screenplay by William Peter Blatty, based on The Exorcist by William Peter Blatty, and produced by Blatty himself, starring Ellen Burstyn, Max von Sydow, woo woo, Lee J. Cobb, Kitty Wynn, Jack McGowran, Jason Miller, and Linda Blair. Cinematography by Owen Roisman. Edited by Evan A. Lotman. Norman Gay, Bud S. Smith. Music by Jack Nietzsche. Production company Hoyer Productions. Now this film actually came out on December 26th, 1973. Imagine during Christmas time in the 70s, early 70s, and you see a movie of hell on earth or hell in the bedroom of Earth, man. It's crazy now, man. This film is great. It's one of the greatest films of all time, one of the greatest horror films of all time. I think it's still the only horror film to be nominated for Best Picture, I believe, in the Oscars area. Very iconic film. It has a pretty good plot. It's a very simple premise, and there are a lot of iconic scenes that feature pretty good special effects, and when you look at it, it looks very original. If there's any CGI, it's pretty damn good CGI of its time. Linda Blair is amazing, playing the daughter who's basically possessed by a demon or the devil. We don't really know, but it's pretty bad. It's a very serious film too, because a lot of the stuff that you would see in this film would pick up heavily on the sequel, and a lot of questions are answered. When you see this film, obviously when you look at it, it just kind of throws at you that, hey, there's going to be a sequel coming because we're throwing all this stuff at you. And I never caught on to the whole series itself, and I don't really plan to, because sometimes when there's a series of sorts, let's just say like 4 or 5, or like the Fast series, man, you got to stop at some point, and I'd rather stop here. So I'm gonna stop here. This film has depth. I like that it has so much depth to it. It's not your typical like horror film or like spooky supernatural film of its time, like where the characters like are sort of brain dead, or so gullible, like these characters are real. These characters care about one another, man. They want to figure out what's going on. That's great to see that in the film. You feel invested. It's not just your typical like thriller or supernatural film. There's got to be some tension going down, and they provide really good tension with Linda Blair's character going crazy, just with this demon inside her, and going through all this modern medicine torture, and at the same time spiritual torture. She's just getting it all, and it's crazy, man. You're like violating this woman on screen. It's pretty like crazy. It's not too graphic. I mean, it does get kind of graphic, but you would think it would get that graphic. Either way, I've always wanted to review this film. I love this film. It's really inspiring because it gives you depth. You see this cast of characters really giving it their all. Like they're really in tune with their characters. Like when we see this girl possessed, and the great makeup job that they put onto this character too, it's so convincing that it's like you're watching a real life exorcist just shot on film on 35 millimeter. I like that. That's, you believe it. You feel gullible itself. We feel brain dead just looking at that. Either way, my name is Ray Salazar. Follow me on Morning Shot Films, IG, and YouTube. Check out my website, morningshotfilms.co. If I gotta give a rating to this film, it's an easy 4 out of 4. Even though it's adapted by a book, It looks very original of a film. I like the conflict that it's so simple to be solved, but yet so complex to be done as you see it on screen, And it's entertaining at the same time. The spooky, the scariness of it, but you it feels so believable. So, as you saw on my IG, there's a bunch of films that I'm going to review. I don't know what to put on next week. We shall see. Thank you.